Hello and welcome to the Clever channel. I am Jason, your host. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. And this is an error correction. Something I said in one of yesterday's videos wasn't actually fully true. It was true in its spirit, but not in exact facts. And that is, I said that the mobility chair scooter that I'm going to be using, everything I use with it is going to be second hand or things like that. Yes, it is. Everything I use from the house is going to be something that's been used for other things. It's all going to be second hand. It's all going to have prior uses. But I will be buying stuff for it as well. And so what I said wasn't true, absolutely 100% true. For example, this, because there's certain things I don't have, like this. This is a bag that goes on the back of your seat. It straps to the actual back of the seat, and so you can store stuff in this unit. It's waterproof and so on, and it's got little side pockets and so on. So, good little stuff. For example, I'll probably keep and there's other things that I'll have to buy, like for example a rain poncho. UK weather being what it is, it's going to rain. Now, I did look into getting what's called a rain roof or a rain canopy. You see, the Macs are like a lot of others. There's beautiful canopies out there that you can get that fit to the actual mobility scooter and cover all the back and have a plexiglass front. Brilliant. And they have plastic sides and that, and you can basically go out in thunderstorms and that. But the problem is, as I've said, the max is around 61.5 centimeters wide, and my side passage for my house is at its smallest point 60 centimeters, but thankfully we don't have to go past that point. But at the front and that, I don't have that much space, and adding one of them to the actual unit may raise it. I will check, but I don't think that's going to be an option. It would be a cool option, because it would mean if this blows up, if I really enjoy being on this and moving around, just like I did when I used to push Paola's wheelchair around, that if this can be that kind of adventure chair for me, the adventure scooter for me, then the world is pretty much my oyster. As crazy as it sounds, it is, because of course I'd limit myself because of my doggy, but being able to travel, I can go probably 25 miles away from where I live. That's a massive distance. I had a joke with Brit Monkey, the person who comes to visit me, that in theory, and I mean in theory, I could actually ride this scooter all the way to where he is. He's like 45 miles away, 46 miles away from where I am, where he lives. And that's like, whoa, that's in a car, that's nothing. In a car, that's really nothing. But in a day's journey, if I want to travel all the way there, I could go and visit Brit. Instead of him coming to my house, I could go and visit him, and the idea of me visiting someone else. But when I say the world's my oyster, you have to book in advance than that. But these wheelchairs, these scooters can fit on a train, and you can stay on them, and that's so. So in theory, if I wanted to go and visit anyone in the UK, I could go to my local train station and go there. I wouldn't, because that would be too far to go away from Bertie. No. But I have that option in the future. If this works out, people may say I'm getting ahead of myself, but this is how my brain works. It extrapolates to what is possible. I know that first of all, I've got to figure out if I can actually leave the house on one and not trigger bad things. Then I've got to develop the coping strategies. And then I've got to learn to drive it and go places and ride it. And then I've got to figure out its range. And then I'll probably have to buy uprated batteries for it so it's got more range. And I want to have it tested and serviced to make sure it is in really good condition. From what I can tell, I'll know, but when I get it, I'm going to take it apart and have a look. Well, not take it apart completely, just take the covers off and have a look at it, make sure there isn't any rust or anything, any damage to the frame or all things like that. Check it all out and make sure everything's working as well as possible, and go from there. Also, the problem with having one of those canopies is you can't have a canopy and one of these packs at the back. The canopy takes the place of this usually, and so no. So instead, you get what's called a mobile scooter rain poncho, which basically goes over all the parts of the vehicle that you want. Your legs, it goes over the handlebars and everything. The thing is, so it keeps the weather out. I don't mind the rain. I've never minded the rain. I'm also going to have to buy another thing. Like, I've got to go look in a bit. In fact, I need to go do it now before I forget why I'm actually thinking here. I'll explain it to you in a sec. Okay, I'm back. That was a little rabbit hole to go down. It's now 5:05. I don't leave the house, as you know, so I don't have sets of clothing for not only rain but sun, and that's a very important thing. If I'm going to be going out during the spring and summer, if I really like this, I'll want to, and I won't want to be limited by the weather. Now, for when it's raining, of course, a hat and a poncho, a mobility scooter poncho, will be the way to go. But as we know, one of the big dangers is sunstroke and things like that. So I wear a lot of, these are nice light colours, but usually I'm in black and that. So I've just, on my Amazon shopping list, got myself a couple of white hats, baseball hat style. Ones with that have actual like the little Legionnaires idea of the material going down to cover your neck and so on, with UPF 50 protection, and the same gloves, because if I'm riding a scooter around in the sun and my hands are out in the thingy, the sun is going to hit my hands and they're going to be on there. So white UPF gloves for there, and a white t-shirt, hoodie, because, well, I will need that. I've got to think about these things, because these are things that I've never had to be concerned about. The good thing about when it comes to GPS and that, this Garmin is a full GPS rugged thingy, so this will be able to track where I'm going, and I'll be able to measure the distance I go on my thinking, I never thought I'd use the navigation system on this. The whole point of this is all completely and totally new. I just need to go down and find my tape measure and measure the circumference of my head, because I've never had to measure the circumference of my head for a piece of clothing before, and I need to make sure I don't buy a piece of clothing that doesn't fit. And I'll need 2 different versions. I'll need the version that's going to be for when I'm wearing my headphones, and the version that's when I'm going to wear my buds. So I can have something that covered down to here, but I can't wear that kind of thing if I've got my headphones on. I've got to think about these things, and it's like, it's a whole different way of thinking about things, and it's strange and weird and wonderful that there's a chance I might leave the house, but I've got to make sure I've got everything in place for it. I am pretty well amazed. Oh, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I have lots and lots of planning to do. Yeah. Bye-bye for now.